Okay, we came up the dimensionally uniform stairs, and we've been up the dimensionally ununiform stairs. We made it up with sets. We did. We're going to roll over here, and we're going to head down the upstairs hallway. I think we want to look a little bit. Okay, we do not have, see how we have draft stopping, that paper? Our little strips of foam right in here, draft stopping, draft stopping, draft stopping, draft stopping, draft stopping, draft stopping. Then we come over here, and we got some on this column right here, got a little draft stopping, but, and we got some over there, so that ceiling, is that what it counts? It counts over here, and then it extends out. Is that the way it works? Because this would be like all open. Okay, so the draft stopping is right here. So this is a conversation to have with your builder, because I don't know. Because the draft stopping goes over here and here and here and goes all around the corner. If I don't know, I don't know, you know. We got draft stopping there. It doesn't look like it, but it might not be required. Got draft stopping over there, right? So we're coming. Thing goes there and there, goes up there to over there, on down. It just seems lacking here, and I don't know where you would put it either, by the way, because the drywall goes down below there. I don't know what you would attach the draft stopping to, but this is a good conversation to have. At the end of the day, that's about what it looks like for a home inspector, is looking for novelties and anomalies. So going on around to the bonus room. I don't know why we painted that green, but my color's pink. Now here's a time for a discussion about windows. A window higher than 72 inches from the ground should not be any closer to the floor than 24 inches. And these windows are about 22 inches from the floor. And we're going to put floor covering in here, so they're even going to be closer to the floor once we put the floor covering in. So you might want to talk to the code inspector about this or what, because here's what I've learned. And when I was paying attention in class one day and I wasn't sleeping, but they've changed the rules. So the 24-inch rule on newer codes incorporates the interior sill, or some people call it the stoop. So it would be 24 inches from here to down there. And so that would be about 24 inches, and that would be, acceptable. And so it kind of depends on what code cycle we're using out here. And here we go. Good home inspection. Here we go.
Hi, this is Emily Wilson, and you asked me to call you back. Do you remember?
Yeah, Emily. I remember asking you to call me back for sure. Okay, here's the draft stopping around here. She's having trouble hearing me. We must have a bad connection. Okay. She's trying to bury me. Go over here. Hey, how about this? We covering up the outlet box so that dirt doesn't get in there. Okay, I'm going to make a random sampling. These outlet boxes are supposed to stay clear. We've already got a couple videos about outlet boxes. A couple videos about the cables and the loops going to them. I don't want to beat a dead horse. But when I come back, assuming that I'm invited back to inspect this house one more time, I'm going to open up a representative number of the outlet boxes, and I'm going to look for contaminants because we're not supposed to have contaminants in those boxes. And then I'm going to get over here before I was so rudely interrupted by Emily, who I did not ask to call me back, and she is a robot. Okay, so for U.S. funeral expenses, scam. It's a scam, people. U.S. funeral expenses, robots calling it, it's a scam. They're preying on old people like me. Alright? So, but anyway, this window is not supposed, it's closer to the floor than 24 inches, but the newer code cycles are okay with it. But that's, a good discussion to have. Because we're discussers. We are. We're going to roll in here. And one thing that I noticed, and I don't know, but it's not unusual, but you usually find as you get higher up into the structure, you find fewer framing mistakes. Okay, we do not have those. Okay, we could use a couple more, nails in that nailing plate. Okay, so but you usually find fewer framing. I guess they put the newer guys on the bottom, and then you work your way to the top, and then you got the cabinet guys. Okay, they're gods with a hammer. Coming along over here. This is just a block. This is not a support. What I'm saying is we can cut this guy up pretty good, like they did. It looks kind of. It's not. I wouldn't call skilled, but there you have it. Coming into this bathroom, and this is the hall bathroom. And this shower's full of water, and I want to kind of show this to you. And this really wasn't even the framing, see? Okay, but as we put all this underlayment underneath here, and this is all warped and stuff, is that going to lay down flat? And you can put your tile on top of that? Is that going to work out okay? I hope it does. I hope it does. But then look at that. Okay, we got our little elbow patch gasket right in there. But look. Okay, that is an electric junction box in the wall. This is not protected from the water. Okay, so we need some more of this material here. Let's see if I can get a real name for it. Code of Canada. Okay. IBS Corporation, UPC, PVC 40. We take our PVC 40, but we need a little more PVC 40 right there in that corner where we have the electricity. Electricity and water, great friends. Okay, rolling on out. See here, we don't even have electrical, and we did a much better job. We've got a little gap back there. It would be better. In fact, it should be better. I'm going to paint that too. Wow, that can sounds like it's getting pretty low. How did that happen? Hey, you got to see me working. You got to see my method. Okay. And then we're going to roll over here. Air duct should not be touching other air duct. It's going to condensate and fall down on the floor. Air duct should not be kinked. Okay, when you have this nylon webbing, alright, this is like the elastic in a cheap pair of underwear. Right there. Is that going to cut into your air duct? Looks like it's cutting into the air duct to me. Looks like it's cutting right into it. Is that going to restrict your airflow? You bet it is. You bet it is. So that's what we got. Then running over here on our ceilings, it looks like we've been routing horsing wire through here. Or maybe we were looking at our gas piping. We got some gas piping up there, some black gas pipe. Alright, because it comes along over here. We got floor receptacles. So you can have a lamp at the top of the stairs that are not dimensionally uniform. We come over here and we got openings and openings. And all that needs to be sealed up. Coming on along, they did a better job on this one. Okay, no pink paint over here. Okay, this vent piping in the attic space, because this is going to be a ventilated attic, in the attic space, this is supposed to have insulation on it. It has a little mild insulation on it, but no, it's supposed to be better insulated than that. When you come in here and you shoot this with an infrared camera, when I shoot this with an infrared camera, when I come back and I inspect this house and I'm waving an infrared camera around here, these are all going to be glowing hot, bringing the radiant heat in because, in part, okay, these were not insulated. Air duct touching air duct. Now you'll notice that I did not mention anything about anchor bolts, because anchor bolts are only on the first floor. And I know all my peers will know about that, but this is for my client, you know, and my client might not know about that. So he's up there and he's going like, well, you had anchor bolts downstairs, and that's where they go. So.